Thank you for watching Let's Talk Influence. Today's topic is the power of captions. Let's meet and ask Praveen a few questions. Praveen, we have seen your journey. It's been an amazing journey. It started with just a passion,
Yeah.
commitment, and then we saw how that led you into storytelling
Yes.
through the lens,
Yeah.
and not just telling a story, but also saying how this picture
Yeah.
can actually bring some transformation from an audience point of view,
Yeah.
helping audience. Many
Yes.
people take pictures, but the pictures you take
Yeah.
brings a community change.
Yeah.
And then now this topic is the power of captions.
Yes.
You got a good picture,
Yeah.
but how does this captions work?
Just like photography, Ashwin, captioning is an art. And I value it as high as photography in itself because you can take good images, you can take some, great shots around the world.
It's like two
But
eyes, I think.
yeah, it's a balance, right? A good caption actually makes your image even better. There was a study done recently where I think it was, something about 94%, there's chances for somebody to, understand your photo better when there's a caption. And, I go back to my journalism classes where we were taught if we can answer those 5 W's, why, what, where, who, and when. If you can answer those 5, I think a good caption can cover that. I've seen a lot of good caption writers bring about a response, a call to action. I think that's the art you need to grow, which is, for example, I'm sure you would have seen a lot of photos with good captions on Instagram or Facebook, where, for example, a sunset. A normal caption would be, wow, look at the sunset, right? That's just a normal caption. But instead of that, try to do it in this way, like, this sunset reminds me of my childhood vacation. What memory do you have of your childhood, or something that. So what you're doing is you're associating your memory with the sunset, and you're asking the audience, what can you share that brings about a memory from your childhood, right? So then he or she is like immediately on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, responding to it.
It makes that engagement.
That engagement, I think that's key. A good caption engages the viewer. It's not just a good photo, but I think it's a balance. I think, like you rightly said, these two have to work together. Of course, caption again is something, it's a skill. There's a lot of tools available online. I mean, there's also AI now, which is a big help. There's a lot of game changer, in fact. Then there are also hashtags, keywords, things that if you do a little bit of research on how to do better captions, I think that'll really help you go a long way to make your photo even more interesting, to make you help tell the story even more better. So it doesn't end with just a great photo. You can have a great photo, but how do you bring that out to an audience with a little bit of more context to it? I think that's an art and a skill that you need to grow.
The many influencers are watching us and saying, listen, every Sunday I go and speak, or I'm reaching people. But neither am I a good photographer, nor am I a good captionist.
Right.
That's a struggle.
Yeah.
But I'm a speaker.
Yeah.
I can speak. But these two are a little thing and a little tough for me.
Yeah.
And fair enough. We are also telling, fine, not everybody born is a photographer.
Right.
But then use the tools what you have.
Yes.
And we are also saying, yes, in the tool, the caption matters.
Yeah.
So, Praveen, when you're on a photography assignment, you go there. So, how do you decide this caption? Do you come back and how do you know, okay, I got a good photo.
Yeah.
But I'm a photographer.
Yes.
I'm a communicator.
Yes.
But I'm not a good captionist.
That's a good question.
How do you overcome that skill?
Yeah. I'm a photographer. I can take great photos. I have the skill to get that image, but I really struggle when it comes to captions. I'm not a great writer. I don't have the.
That's a different.
It's a different art. Like I told you, that's a different art.
Correct.
Writing is a different art, and the shorter it is, the harder it is. I don't know if you remember back when Twitter started, they had only like a 60-word something limit, and you had to really bring out all your essence in that. Of course, now they've opened it out. But I think the shorter you have to make the caption, it gets really harder.
Correct.
So what I'm trying to say is, yes, okay, if you have figured out that you're not good at captions, or writing is not your greatest skill, I can honestly say I'm not great at writing captions or writing a story. So I take help. I work with the team, even for the organization that I work for at Kids for the Kingdom. We have someone, in my team that does only copy, and this person in my team, there's another person that does just the script and the planning and the administration. Listen, not every photographer can do everything. You can't be an administrator, planner, book the tickets, get the visas, write the script, all that. You can't do everything. So I think working with a team really helps. If you are not able to, find somebody who can help you write. Find somebody who's gifted with that. They can see your image and then, take it and make it even better.
And now there are tools also now,
Yes,
Praveen.
yes.
A lot of tools which are available where you can, if you write the story, it kind of helps you with the AI.
Yeah, I'll be very honest with you. For a lot of competitions that I sent my images to, I had ChatGPT write my captions. I just tell and again, it's called caption engineering, right? Like you have to ask the right question. You have to frame the question in such a way that the GPT also helps you to, give you the right captions, even with limitations of words or even the kind of audience. It does a fabulous job. Of course, you have to tweak it a little bit to make it even better. But there are tools, like you rightly said, there's now AI. We live in an AI age. So take advantage of it. Earlier, I used to beg people, can you write some captions? I used to ask my friends. But now you have AI. Make him your friend. Make AI your friend. And I think it'll really help you get your work better.
So, Praveen, the big takeaway I'm getting here is, yes, you might have a great story. You might have a good photograph.
Yeah.
It might be a good story, but you have the wrong caption.
Yes.
The whole thing can go flat. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. There are different ways to write a caption. Some people are very technical. A lot of photographers I follow, they know their audience. They know that people who follow me are fellow photographers or people who are interested in photography. So what they do with their caption is they add a lot of technical detail, aperture, shutter speed, what ISO was used, because that helps me as a fellow photographer. Okay, when I see that shot, okay, this is the shot, this is the technical aspects he's used. Great. So you need to understand your audience, and then, so for example, if you have a very wide mixed audience, right? So your caption shouldn't be too technical. Add humor to it. Add a call to action. Add some statistics. Now you can even have polls, right, on Facebook and all that. Create something that's generic, right? Something fun. And the guys who've really got that, if you look at their captions, it'll be very generic, but they're able to get people to respond to it. And I think it's a skill. And there are a lot of tools, like you rightly said, there are now even plugins that are available to use it. But if you are able to spend a little bit of time investing on how to get better at this, there are even YouTube videos that help you with that. I think you can really get better at this game.
Yeah. And I think understanding the power of captions, I think we need to first see the value behind it.
Yeah.
The value proportion is, yes, if you add a caption, it brings an element.
I think first is just start writing. Don't worry about what people think or worry about your grammar. And I think people are too conscious. They're very worried about what if, it sounds odd or there's a lot of spelling. Listen, English is not our native language, right? It's still, something that.
Make a start.
Yeah, you make a start somewhere, even for just one line, right? One simple line, start. And I think the skill of writing grows when you start doing it more. Right? Start with one line, use a notepad, start and show your work to others. See if they're able to get that emotion, get that feedback. I think online is a great resource. Social media is a great resource. Let me give you an example. I was in Zambia. I was walking down the street and our national worker took us to this house. And in this house was this old lady. She's a grandmother, and her children and her son-in-law, that is her daughter and her son-in-law, died because of AIDS. And now that disease has passed on to her grandchild. I think she had two grandsons. And this poor lady is now, given the responsibility to take care of the children, send them to school, and so she was sitting in her sofa in a very different angle, and there was only one window. It's a very poor, very simple. It's in a slum area. The house was not too big. It was hardly like 20 square feet, but there was only one door, or maybe it was a window. I'm not too sure. There was one natural light coming in, and this old grandmother was sitting in a side of on the couch and talking, explaining to us in her native language, and there's a translator translating that to us. And while she was explaining her hardship, I had this one moment where I could, just capture that shot. It's a beautiful portrait of this grandmother, this very simple background, as you can see on the screen. She's narrating that story, but there's so much of depth in her story. Now, if I just present it as an image, nobody will understand. But when I give you a caption saying, meet Josephine, she's a 80-year-old grandmother who's lost her children, and now she's given the hardship of taking care of her two young grandsons. And at this age, she has to work to make sure that her grandkids are able to go to school. When I add that caption, it brings about more emotion,
more life to
that image.
Yeah. What you're saying is, photograph is important, caption is important, but don't miss the simplicity of it.
Yes.
Be simple.
Be simple.
I mean, let's
simple.
not get it too technical.
No.
And miss the life into it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
would that
Absolutely.
be a right?
Bang on
Yeah.
target.
Yeah. Praveen, we are jumping into the next episode.
Yeah.
And the topic is something which I love. The topic is a good picture equals a good brand.
Yes.
And this is something which most people know,
Yeah.
but most people miss.
Yeah.
Especially people who go out on Sundays and speak to their audiences. Every Sunday they go and speak.
Yeah.
But if you go to the website, they don't have a good picture.
Right.
So a good picture
Yeah.
equals a good brand.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.